Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my sunroom here in East Tennessee. I got a question from my friend and member, Elizabeth Evans. She said, could you review your Vanda water culture routine? And I'm asked that so often. So I thought I'd go ahead and just share with you all today how I do my water culture routines with my Vandas and also with my Phalaenopsis orchids. Right now I have 3 phals in water culture, and I pretty much do them all the same. There's a few differences in the fertilizing, but as far as the routine, it's the same. This Vanda, I have had it now for 5 years. It's never bloomed for me because it just didn't thrive until about 1.5 years ago when I switched it over to water culture. I have a friend, Sharon Holmes, and she has great Vandas. And I put an emergency call into her one day. I said, oh gosh, Sharon, I am going to lose my Vanda. It looks awful. I had it in bark and moss layers and it hated it. The roots were just desiccating right and left. And she said, sure, I'll tell you what I do with mine. I do water culture. And it had been, 3-4 years since I had done water culture at that point. And I was like, what did you just say? She says, yes, water culture. So she told me how to do it, and I have pretty much gone by that routine. And this one, honestly, I think it's going to be blooming soon because right here, as you see, there is some space between these 2 leaves, and I have a feeling that it's going to spike there soon. I'm hoping so anyway, but look at how healthy it is. 1.5 years ago, it looked like it was about ready to die. So let me tell you how I do my water culture routine. It's not complicated, but it does take time every day. Used to, I kept them in water, and the roots just didn't do well. I lost quite a few Vandas that way. So what I do now, and I'm going to show you, do you see how the roots are in just a tiny bit of water at the bottom of this pot? Every morning I get up and I put, about 5 or 6 ounces of water in this pot. And then at night I take a turkey baster and I just get it all out of there. I leave it in place. I take the turkey baster and just soak up all the water into the turkey baster. And that's what I do every single day. So I know some of you are saying, oh my gosh, that's an every single day thing. Yes, that's the reason why I don't want too many of my plants in water culture, is because I let them have wet, dry cycles every single day. If I don't do that, the roots get too much water and they rot. So look how pretty and green. And look at all of the new root growth I have on this Vanda. It's just crazy. So I do that every day. I don't fill this up at all, as you see. It's just a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot. The reason why I have it in this is because I started it out in a glass vase, and almost immediately where I have the water, it just developed algae, and I thought, oh goodness, I just don't like the way that it looks. It can kind of set up cyanobacteria, which I really, really don't want to set cyanobacteria up in my environment. That's not good for the plant, and it's definitely not good for you. So once a week, I fertilize this with 700 parts per million of MSU fertilizer. I use the Tessula MSU fertilizer. Sharon said that if you use less than 700 parts per million per week, you'll start losing your lower leaves. And I have not lost a single leaf on this one since I put it in water culture and started fertilizing it well. Vandas need a lot of air, lots of water, and lots of fertilizer. So once a week, I do the fertilizer with it as well. Another thing to be aware of when you're growing orchids in water culture, you see that I have my heater right behind where this Vanda is right now. It's the middle of May, and today was 57 degrees. Tonight's going to get down to 37. So it's still chilly here from time to time. This weekend it's supposed to warm up a great deal. Like we're supposed to be in the 80s, but for right now, I still have my heater going. And that's an important thing to keep in mind, because if you have a grow space that is cool, you're going to want to keep these closest to the warmest part of your grow room. Don't let them sit in cold water all day long. Some people I've even read put their water culture orchids on heat mats, and you can do that as well during the winter and your colder months. So I wouldn't let them sit in cold water all day long. I keep my sunroom here pretty warm. The last few years, I've kept a heater going in here all fall and all winter long, and they've just done so much better. I don't let it get much below 70 degrees on any given day, and I've just noticed that my spikes grow better, and also the ones that I have in water culture, I don't have to be concerned about them. So just be careful that you're not putting cold water in the vase all day and that they're just sitting in that cold water all day long, especially on the days that you fertilize. They need some warmth to be able to absorb that fertilizer. So that's another thing to keep in mind with these, because they don't have anything, they don't have any bark or any moss or anything to keep them warm during the colder months. And it is kind of interesting to think about the bark and the moss being an insulator during the cold weather, but it really is. So yeah, that's the reason why I mentioned the insulation factor in the winter, because our winters here, as you all know, they're pretty cold. They're not as cold as some of you have, but I think that we had a day last winter that it got down to like -5 or yeah. I think that the wind chill factor got down to -5. Oh my goodness, so that's cold. So just make sure that they're in a warm spot. And now I'm going to tell you about my phals that are in water culture. Right now I have 3 that are in water culture. Here you see Magic Art. And the interesting thing about Magic Art is I don't really have to drain anything out of her vase, because she drinks all the water that I put in her pot every single day. I just make sure the next day that her roots are silvery. I wait until they go silver until I add more water. I've really never noticed that this phal takes in that much more water, but it really truly does. While she's blooming especially, she takes in a lot of water. We'll just look at these gorgeous blooms while I'm talking about it. But I don't fertilize my phals that are in water culture at 700 parts per million every week. And if you don't know what that is a full dose of MSU fertilizer. Let me see. I use about 3/4 of a dose on this one. I use about 550 parts per million. Magic Art requires a lot of fertilizer, and the way that you can kind of gauge that is you want to make sure that your leaves aren't turning yellow, especially the tips of the leaves. Look at the tips of the leaves, and if they're starting to turn yellow, you probably need to add some more fertilizer. You don't ever go above that 1 teaspoon of MSU or whatever the recommended dose is of your orchid fertilizer. But about 550 parts per million per week is what I give her. See, her roots are nice and hydrated in there. And like I said, it's just enough to kind of cover the bottom of that pot, and she stays happy. And I have 2 other ones that I'm doing the same thing with. The sun keeps coming in and out. Sorry that it just kind of keeps getting brighter and darker. But yeah, there's one of my phals that it's been in bark and moss, and it just didn't like the bark and moss layers at all, and it just threw its roots. It was just like, no, I don't like growing this way. So I'm rehabilitating it in some water culture until the roots start growing, and then I'm going to put it back in bark. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't want too many of my orchids in water culture. It's a little bit time intensive because, like I said, I put the water in, that little bit of water in these pots in the morning, then every night I'm draining it out. Except for on this one, she uses all the water in a day that I give her. So that, like, that one's easy. I don't have to drain this vase with anything. I have an Oncidium type, my Trichocentrum, and that one was Patrick's before he sent it to me. And I asked him, how do I need to grow this orchid? And he said it likes water culture the best. He put about a 1/2 inch of water at the bottom of his vase, and he says once it drinks all that up, then I just fill it up again about a 1/2 inch at the bottom of the vase. So that's easy. I don't have to do that every day. About once a week with the Trichocentrum, I feed it with about half dose MSU. So also make sure that you know that just because they're in water culture, they definitely do still need fertilizer. Pretty much whatever you're using with your other orchids that you would, that you have in media, I've found that that's about as much as they need in water culture. So just make sure that you're fertilizing them, and let me know how yours are doing, because I hear some really interesting stories about how people do water culture. Some of them do pretty much a full water culture setup. I can't do that, or my roots will just rot. Also, I learned about, keeping them warm enough in the winter. That was a big issue with me before. So I hope those tips help set you all up for success if you're contemplating doing water culture. If you're a beginner, I don't suggest you start with the water culture method, and I'll tell you why. I've had my channel now for 11 years, and I've noticed that beginning orchid growers need to start, like, let's say in bark. Learn how to grow in bark first. And then when you have some experience and you know how to grow, then you can try one in water culture if you want to. But not all of them like water culture. Let me just tell you that right from the very start. Some of them don't like it, and you just lose roots, especially if you have an orchid that's been in media for a year or two. You just need to keep it in that media. And this is my Trichocentrum. It's the only one that I have in a glass vase because look at the roots. I really do enjoy looking at these roots. It's just got a beautiful root system, and it's getting some new roots, as you see back here. But this is about as much as I fill it up, about a 1/2 inch. That should keep it for 4 or 5 days. And then when all that water is gone, then I refill it. And like I said, I fertilize this one once a week, about 300 parts per million. That's about a 1/2 to 1/4 dose. And what I do after it's been setting in the fertilizer water all day long, I drain it and let it set dry that one night, and then I refill it to about this much the next day. And that's how I do my Trichocentrum. So if you have Oncidiums, this has worked for me. And as I end this video, I want to thank everyone for watching. And Elizabeth, thank you for your question. I know that this has probably helped a lot of people. So I want to thank everybody for liking and hyping my videos, for all of your awesome comments. You all are my orchid family, and I just read through my comment section and I smile. You all make my day. To all my members, thank you all so much for supporting my channel in the way that you do every single month. And before I end the video, I'd love to say the blessing over you, your families, and your plants. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. You all make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.